Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Firdaus Hakimi bin Mahadzir, and today we will going to explain about 5 important things regarding to the valuation profession in Malaysia.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Izzul Haziq and I'm going to explain on how the valuation profession come into force in Malaysia. There are 3 eras that I'm going to explain. The first is before colonial era, the second one is British colonial era, and the third one is after independence era. Let's go to the first one. Before colonial, during the Malay Sultanate era, Sultan was the higher ruler, and Malay feudal system was used during this era, and the determination on tax is based on Islamic tax. After Portuguese and Dutch come, during this era, it was more focused on dominance of trade for business. We go to the next era, which is British colonial era. In 1796, British come to Tanah Melayu, and British acquired Penang Island, and Penang Island is the first territory that introduced valuation profession. And then British introduced valuation by value assessment rate in Georgetown, Penang. British also established a sanitary board, and British had to borrow some of value from London to value property in Georgetown due to financial problem. In 1819 to 1914, all state in Malaysia was colonized, and Johor was the last state to be colonized. In 1907, appraisal enactment was introduced, and it was established in 1907 and widely used in 1933. License also were given to ex-public servant by the state, and it can be classified into 2, first and second class. In 1920, British set up Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyor RICS. It is called the General Practice Surveyor. In 1950, RICS offered basic training to practice valuation from British culture. Thus, valuation profession come into force in Malaysia. In 1954, Sir C.C. Hipgrave appointed as officer of Inland Revenue Department, and in 1955, Sir A.A. Wright began services at the Ministry of Local Government Housing and Urban Planning. 10 of qualified trainee and value has been recruited. In 1957, National Treasury Division was established. Third one, after independence era. In 1960, valuation in private firm began, and Land Acquisition Act 1960 established to help government acquiring alienated land for public purposes. In 1961, RICS was changed to ISM, Institute of Surveyors Malaysia. After that, in 1973, enforcement of Survey Act 1967 was done to improve the current act. The enforcement of real property gain tax also happened in 1979. In 1981, the enforcement of Valuer Appraiser Estate Agent Act was established, and the purpose is to control valuer registration in Malaysia.
Hello, my name is Amreen Hisyam. So, I will explain more about mutatis mutandis. So, what is mutatis mutandis? Mutatis mutandis is the expression from the Latin word. The meaning of the word is changing those things which need to be changed. In other words, Earl Jowitz, the Dictionary of English Law 1959 defines mutatis mutandis as with necessary changes in points of detail, meaning the matters or things are generally the same, but to be altered when necessary. Thus, the use of this term is a prime example of unnecessary legalized, which may serve to make the meaning become obscure and intent of the provision in which it is used. So the parties should avoid using mutatis mutandis and instead simply include the actual language of the previous agreement in the new one. In addition, the principle of mutatis mutandis is most commonly used in law compared to other fields of economics or finance. This is because it is generally used when comparing two or more situations or cases that require some necessary alterations that do not affect the main subject matter of the issue, especially contracts between both parties that have made similar agreements before. For example, A tenancy renewal contract between tenant and landlord may be drawn up by mutatis mutandis, which means it reflects necessary changes such as hike in rent. Thus, the concept is generally used in legal documents to draw attention to variations between current statement and previous version of the same.
Hi, it's me Izzul again. I'm going to continue the presentation in differentiating of several professions involving real estate in Malaysia. The first one is differences between registered appraisers and registered valuer. The first item to differentiate them is registration. For registered appraiser, they are registered because of long life experience, but for registered valuer, their registration are approved by the board. The second item to differentiate them is the test of professional competence. For registered appraiser, they do not require to take the test, but for registered valuer, they need to take the TPC to be registered under the board. The third item to differentiate them is the limitation of area and value. For registered appraiser, they have a limitation on geographical area and amount to value, but for registered valuer, they are free to value in any area in Malaysia and no limitation of value. The last one, the existence. For registered appraiser, they exist before independence in Malaysia, but for registered valuer, their existence are after independence in Malaysia. Let's go to the next one, the differences between probationary valuer and registered valuer. The first item to differentiate them is the test of professional competence. For probationary valuer, they have rights to practice valuation for them to prepare for the test. But for registered valuer, they can practice various real estate scope and open a private firm after they have passed the test of professional competence. The next item is registration number. For probationary valuer, they only have PV number, for example, PV 1221. But for registered valuer, they have a registration number given by the board, for example, V4677. The third item to differentiate them is the logbook or diary. For probationary valuer, they need to fill in the logbook or the diary consisting of their 2 years of experience. But for the registered valuer, they are not required to maintain and record the logbook or diary after they are registered. The last item to differentiate them is the qualification. For probationary valuer, they are not qualified to sign any valuation report, but for registered valuer, they are qualified to sign and approve any valuation report. The third one is differences between broker and registered estate agent. The first item to differentiate them is registration. For broker, they did not register under the board and illegally conduct estate agency practice in the field. But for registered estate agent, they are registered under the board and approved to conduct any estate agency practice. The second item is the test of professional competence. For broker, they did not take the test, but for registered estate agent, in order for them to be registered, they are compulsory to take the TPC and pass the examination. The third one is firm. For broker, they cannot open any firm due to unregistered and unauthorized by the board. But for the registered estate agent, they are authorized under the board and bound by rules and regulation to open any agency firm. The last item to differentiate them both are REN engagement. For broker, they cannot engage any REN under their name or firm. But for registered estate agent, they can engage to 50 REN under their name or firm. The last one is differences between registered estate agent and real estate negotiator. The first item to differentiate them is the test of professional competence. For registered estate agent, they already take and pass the TPC to conduct any estate agency practice. But for the real estate negotiator, they did not yet pass the TPC exam to become registered estate agent. The second item is registration number. For registered estate agent, they have EA number given by the board once they are registered. For example, EA 6352. But for the real estate negotiator, they have REN number. For example, REN 2431. The third item is firm. For registered estate agent, they are authorized to open any agency firm by the board. But for real estate negotiator, they are unauthorized to open any estate agency firm. The fourth item is supervision. For registered estate agent, they can engage 50 REN under their name. But for real estate negotiator, they practice estate agency under REA supervision. The last item to differentiate them is qualification. For registered estate agent, they have the power and qualification to sign any agreement in related matters. But for real estate negotiator, they cannot sign any contract agreement and need registered estate agent to do so.
My name is Rusydi. I will proceed with the importance of the professional indemnity insurance for each registered valuation firm in Malaysia. Professional indemnity insurance is an insurance which covers legal costs and expenses occur as well as any damages or costs that may be awarded. This insurance provides a financial protection for a wide range of professional advisors such as accountant, solicitor, architect, doctor, engineer, and estate agents in the case of a client suffers financial loss as a result of alleged neglect, error, or omission. Why is it important to register a valuation firm? It is because this indemnity insurance is to protect the agent who works in the valuation firms against legal liability to pay for damages to persons who sustain financial loss as a result of their own professional negligence or those committed by their employees in the conduct of business. In the example of valuer, it could be the error and omission act of the valuer in failing to disclose the actual terms of policy coverage and benefits to clients, or error in disclosure of personal details of the client.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Mohd Aqil bin Shamsul Kamar. I would like to explain on amendment of Act 242. The amendment of Act 242 can be divided into 4 phases from year 1989 until now. First, Act A980, Valuers, Appraisers and Estate Agents, Act 1997. Second, Act A1056, Valuers, Appraisers and Estate Agents, Act 1999. The third one, Act A1404, Valuers, Appraisers and Estate Agents, Act 2011. And the last one, Act A1550, Valuers, Appraisers, Estate Agents and Property Managers, Act 2017. Next, I would like to explain on the matters of amendment that have been made on that particular year. First, A980, Valuers, Appraisers and Estate Agents, Act 1997. On that particular year, additional duties of valuers, probationary valuers, estate agents, probationary estate agents, and Director General was amended. Move to the next one, A1056, Valuers, Appraisers and Estate Agents, Act 1999. On that particular year, functions of Director General was amended. Move to the next one, A1404, Valuers, Appraisers and Estate Agents, Act 2011. On that particular year, constricting the regulations of real estate practitioner was made. And the last one, A1550, which is Valuers, Appraisers, Estate Agents and Property Managers, Act 2017. Whereas the scope of Act 242 was extended to regulate property managers. Thank you. That's all from me.